Mark, I guess just your general assessment of where the match is now. Is a win off the table? Is it a matter of trying to draw the test match now? Just how do you see it going?
Yeah, look, after the first 2 days, I would have said we wouldn't want to chase anything sort of more than 250. But having a look at the way the wicket played today, obviously it did flatten out quite a bit, which is surprising. It happened at Supersport Park as well. I think the overhead conditions sometimes change our wickets. Our backs are up against it, let's be honest. But if we come out tomorrow, we've got a new ball at hand as well. So, if conditions change then as well, and we use the new ball well, we believe we can pick up quick wickets. And if we can chase anything around 330, 340, that would be great. It's still going to be a tall ask, but one or two batters get in there, get stuck in. We saw how difficult it was to pick up wickets when it does flatten out. When the ball gets a bit older, then we got to keep believing that a couple of our batters can get 100 or one or two big hundreds and give ourselves a chance.
Mark, you mentioned the conditions changing, but do you feel maybe there was a bit of a lack of energy from the bowlers? And can you maybe just explain some of the tactical decisions in the field, like sometimes there wasn't a short leg in for Unrick and those kinds of things?
Yeah, look, I think bowling quite a bit takes a bit of its toll. I think you look at the chat in the dressing room is that the ball got really soft. There were times where maybe we wanted to attack Joe Root when he first came to the crease, but our guys had put quite a bit of work in already from the first innings and didn't get too much of a rest with our batting. So I think that sort of takes its toll. With regards to the tactical stuff, we've got our ideas on how to get batters out. On a wicket that we thought, everyone's talking about the crack going from the Weinberg end down. It just didn't seem to misbehave as much as what we expected it to. And that could be the change of conditions. I'm not too sure. Vern probably didn't bowl with the same venom that he usually have. He felt a little bit sick this morning. So I think that maybe played a bit of a role as well. But certainly, looking at it from the side, it did look like it had flattened out quite a bit, and there wasn't as much lateral movement as what there was in the first 2 days.
Just looking back at this test match yesterday, were you disappointed in the batting? Obviously there was an opportunity to get a lead and to get England bowled well, but were you disappointed in the South Africa?
Absolutely. I think we got ourselves into a bit of a pickle at 40 for 3. Then I thought we fought really hard to get ourselves out of that. And it was almost the game was on the edge and who was going to crack first, and unfortunately I think we cracked. We had a couple of soft dismissals which put us into a trying period in the game, and we're probably reaping that now, being quite far behind the game. So yeah, disappointing. But as long as we're learning from those sort of mistakes, then hopefully we can grow as a test batting unit.
Mark, there seems to be quite a few discussions that happened today. You and Fluff poring over the computer towards the end of lunch. 73rd over, he comes off the field, and you guys have a discussion. Can you take us through some of those kind of tactical conversations that you're having?
Well, the nice thing about cricket nowadays, you've got technology. So we always try to look for little flaws in techniques that we can maybe pick up. We have video analysis before a game, and we'll try to figure out where to bowl to certain players. But then, as Test cricket and cricket is on the day, sometimes the movements are good, and maybe you've got to look for other little areas to try and pick up a weakness with a batter. So that's what we do continuously with the computer, and just try and basically give suggestions to the guys out in the field. So I think Faf came off to get his shoulder rubbed in that, and it was just a period of the game where we felt the ball was a bit soft, and Unrick came on and he looked like he had good rhythm coming from the other end. So we thought that maybe let's just try something different and probably look at it from a cricketing perspective. We wouldn't want to face a guy bowling 150 k's from around the wicket with that sort of field. So it's just trying to gain any sort of little inch that you can at the end of the day's play, and you've got to have the guy who's got the ball in hand keen to do that. And I thought Unrick, just goes to show his fitness. We're running at 150 k's an hour right at the end of the day, after having a high workload over the last sort of period of Test cricket. So it was a tough day of cricket, but it's nice it's better walking to the change room being 4 down than 2 down.
Dean, Keela and Ken?
Mark, you played your career with a couple of top order batsmen who specialise in grinding down the opposition watch a guy like Dom Sibley play that kind of innings as a coach, what kind of value does that give to the team, and how important is it that you've got players that are able to do that to the opposition?
I think it was a great innings from him. Technically, a lot of people have been speaking about his batting, but he showed a lot of discipline outside off stump with a new ball, which I think was very important on this particular wicket. He dug it out, and he was sort of the foundation for the whole innings that allowed a guy like Joe Root to come out and play his natural game and take the game forward. They were ahead of the game, so Root coming out, he's always going to be dangerous. We wouldn't mind him coming out and blocking a few, but he took the game on. He took Kesh on, and I think that's probably why they're in the position that they're in at the moment. But like I said, you've got to take your hat off to Sibley. He played really well, very disciplined, which is what it takes as a Test cricketer, especially a Test opener at certain times on certain pitches.
Kila, Ken, Craig, and we're going to finish with Kanyisa.
Mark, just your assessment on how Keshav was used or utilised today in comparison to Dom Base yesterday, probably sort of plugged up in the end and allowed the English series to rotate to the other.
Well, I thought that Kesh bowled really well in the first innings. Second innings, there was an immediate plan to take him on a bit more. There wasn't much turn from the straight, so we decided to try use what the pitch had on offer, which is the rough. Although we did create a few chances, a couple of reverse sweeps, maybe could have hit a glove. There was one or two from Sibley that dropped just short of point. Unfortunately, he probably didn't land the ball in the right areas for a long period of time, and that's why they probably scored quite a few runs off him as well. So, Kesh is a work in progress as well. We worked on a couple of changes in his bowling. He might have a bit of lack of confidence, not having picked up the wickets that he's probably wanted to. But it is a work in process, and we'll try keep working with him in order to get him to where we want him to be.
Mark, how did the Proteas get something out of this Test match?
Well, there's a Test match up for grabs. I think there are times in teams sort of characters that the characters have to come out. I think we've got characters in that dressing room. We do understand our batters are under a bit of pressure because they probably haven't performed like they've wanted to. If we can bowl them out and maybe look at a total worth chasing, then we must do that. We would always want to go for a win. But good teams also manage to block out draws. So depending on the situation, depending on how well we bowl tomorrow and hopefully pick up wickets, then we can maybe go for a chase. If not, then we're going to have to fight out for maybe a day and a half.
Mark, just cricket through the years, chasing batting last. I mean, I think South African Perth chased for one. If the conditions, you need the conditions to play along, maybe the wicket, I'm not flatting out. Does it become a mental thing that teams don't chase? I mean, is it more mental thing, or how do you chase 350, 400? Do you have to break it down? Or?
Yeah, I think you do have to break it down, and there's also a lot of strategic planning that needs to go into it as well. If I look at the way that they played Kesh today, I think that we might have to be a little bit more positive against Bess in the second innings if we are going for the total. So certainly, but I mean, bottom line is you don't chase down totals like that without partnerships and big partnerships. And if one or two of our players get into a situation where they can bat long and get hundreds, then you can start looking at totals like that. But there is a lot of planning that goes around chasing big totals like that. Actually, busy speaking to a couple of the guys in the dressing room that were at that game at the Wacker. There was a lot of times in the game where we just had to maybe put a bit of pressure on and then absorb a bit, and I think that is key to chasing down a big total.
Finally, Kanyisa.
Yeah, Mark, you played in the 2001 game when Australia chased down 3-4. With the team as is now, new coach, players still trying to find their feet. What kind of statement do you think they would say if you guys chased down whenever England said?
I think it'd be a great statement, but I think it's more about the confidence. Like I said, our batters probably haven't performed like they want to. And if we get a couple of our big name players to stand up and get big hundreds, and a couple of the youngsters can chip in around them and hopefully play some big innings as well, then they'll take a lot of confidence out of that and a lot of belief. Back in the days when we played, I mean, we wouldn't even think of chasing down 400 odd. But we did it in Perth, and we took a lot of confidence from that. So, yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done. We still got to bowl them out, and like I said, if the conditions allow us to go for a chase, then I'm sure that with a couple of guys in the dressing room who would love to do that.